Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about A to D converters, and in that A to D converter, we will mainly study successive approximation A to D converter in today's class. And in the previous class, we have studied what do you mean by D to A converter, right? And in today's class, the opposite, that is analog to digital converters, means A to D converters. So A to D converters converts an analog voltage to the digital output. There are many types of analog to digital converters. For example, single ramp integrating, dual ramp integrating, single counter, tracking, and as well as successive approximation A to D converters. For today's topic, we will study only successive approximation A to D converter. And here what we are doing, actually, we will take an 8-bit SAR, successive approximation resistor. The circuit, what we have chosen is 8-bit successive approximation resistor, and the output is applied to an 8-bit digital to analog converter. Next, what we will do, the analog output, that is V0 of the D to A converter, is then compared to analog input signal V in by the comparator. The output of the comparator is a serial data input to the SAR. Okay. SAR then adjusts its digital output 8 bits until it's equivalent to analog input V in. Then the 8-bit latch at the end of the conversion holds on to the resultant digital data output. So this is the main diagram of successive approximation analog to digital converter, and where we are going to apply initially the pulse for the SAR, 8-bit SAR successive approximation resistor, and here the main blocks are 8-bit SAR and 8-bit digital to analog converter, analog voltage, the analog voltage output, that is usually denoted by VA, and analog input, that is represented by Vin, and the comparator output is given to the our serial data input. Okay, and the 8-bit latch will converts to the digital corresponding digital output, and the start of the conversion, serial data, and conversion complete, these are used for the our successive approximation resistor, right? Successive approximation A to D converter. Now, this, as I said, this is since we are using 8-bit, it is called as 8-bit successive approximation method. Okay, 8-bit successive approximation resistor, and whose output is applied to an 8-bit. This is an 8-bit DAC. Okay, that is digital to analog converter. Now, the analog output, that is analog output VA of the D to A converter, this block, is then compared to an analog input signal VIN. Okay, this output is compared with the analog input signal, say VIN, by the comparator. Next, the output of the comparator is a serial data input to the our SAR. That means successive approximation resistor. Okay, the SAR then adjust its digital. The SAR will adjust its digital output, that is 8 bits, until it's equivalent to analog input. Okay, analog input V in. Then the 8-bit latch at the end of the conversion holds on to the resultant digital data output. Okay, and now we'll see. This is a small introduction regarding the block itself. As I said, so the procedure is as follows for successive approximation analog to digital converter. At the start of the conversion cycle, the SAR is reset by holding start signal high. Okay, at the start of the conversion cycle, the SAR is reset. Okay, it's the successive approximation register is reset by holding start signal this start signal high. Okay, on the first clock pulse, as soon as we will apply the first clock pulse, low to high transition, the most significant bit, that is this bit, that is Q7, the most significant bit Q7, or you can say most significant output Q7 of the SAR is set. Okay, MSB of the 8-bit SAR, that is Q7, is set. Okay, next the SAR, the D to A converter, this digital to analog converter, D to A converter, then generates an analog equivalent. Okay, that will generates an analog equivalent to the Q7 bit. Okay, to the Q7 bit. Okay, this that will converts the analog equivalent of the Q7 bit. Okay, and which is, and this Q7 equivalent bit is compared with the analog input Vin. Okay, now there exist two conditions here at the comparator. If the comparator output is low, okay, if this comparator output is low, if the comparator output is low, then the D to A, that is this digital to analog output, is greater than Vin. Okay, then if the D to A output is greater than Vin, and then our SAR, that is successive approximation register, will clear its MSB, that is Q7. It will clear, SAR will clear its MSB Q7. Okay, in any case, on the next clock pulse, okay, in any case, on the next clock pulse, low to the high transition, what is going to happen? The SAR will set the next MSB Q6. Okay, it is going to set the next MSB Q6. Okay, depending on the output of the comparator, okay, depending on the output of the comparator, the SAR, that is this successive approximation register, will then either keep or reset this Q6 bit. Okay, and this process is continued. Okay, this type of process is continued until SAR, this SAR tries all the bits. Okay, as soon as LSB Q0, okay, as soon as LSB Q0 is tried, the SAR, this SAR, the SAR forces the conversion complete. Okay, that will forces the conversion complete signal high to indicate the parallel output lines, contains the valid data. Okay, the conversion complete signal, that is this conversion complete signal, in turn enables the latch. Okay, this will enables the latch, and digital data appears at the latch. Okay, and digital data appears at the latch. Digital data are also available serially as SAR determines the each bit. Okay, now one more condition, that is to cycle the converter continuously, the conversion signal or conversion complete, the CC signal may be connected to the start conversion. Okay, this condition conversion input, and the advantage of the successive approximation A to D converter is its high speed and as well as excellent resolution. Okay, in this way the SAR will work. Okay, and these are some of the points what I just now I have explained in the circuit. Okay, and for simplicity, I have taken one example of 3-bit how it is going to work. Okay, suppose initially all bits are reset, and suppose our input voltage is greater than the our digital to analog converter output, then the first bit will be set. Okay, and other bit will remain as it is. Okay, and similarly in other case, other condition, what is going to happen if the input voltage is less than DAC output, then the first bit will be set to 0 and the other will remain same. Okay, similarly on the next iteration, if this condition is also not satisfied, then what is going to happen, once again it is going to check the input voltage is less than the DAC output, then once again now it is going to check the second bit. Okay, it will keep the first bit as it is, and second will set if the input voltage is greater than the DAC output, the second bit will be set to 1 and the third bit will remain as it is. In a similar case, otherwise if the input voltage is less than DAC output, the second bit will be set to 0 and the last bit will remain same. Okay, and if this condition also in the next iteration, what it is going to do, and once again it is going to check for the two conditions. If the input voltage is greater than the digital to analog back output, then the third bit will be set. Okay, the third bit will be set. If it is less than DAC output, then the third bit will be set to 0. Okay, similar way the here also the now for the third bit comparison, the if the input voltage is less than the DAC output, then the third bit will be set to 0. If the input voltage is greater than DAC output, then the third bit will be set to 1. Okay, and here also in the same way these iterations will take place. Suppose now if you are here in this clock pulse and now input voltage is less than the DAC output, so in the for the second bit, what is going to happen if the input voltage is greater than the DAC output, the second bit will be is going to set to 1 and remains the third bit will remain as it is. And here if the input voltage is less than DAC output, the second bit will be set to 0 and the third bit will remain same. Okay, similarly if the for the third bit condition, suppose if the input voltage is greater than DAC output, then it is going to set to 1, the last bit is going to set to 1, and if the input voltage is less than the DAC output, then it is going to set to 0. So in the similar case for the third bit, if it is input voltage is greater than the DAC output, then it is going to set, otherwise it is going to set to 0. In this way, all possible combinations, that is 0 to 7, can be verified according to our whatever the input we will take. According to that one, our successive approximation resistor will give the output at the latch. Okay, and this is regarding successive approximation method, that is A to D converter, successive approximation type of A to D converter, right? And now we'll see the next topic, small signal half wave rectifier. Okay, as we have already studied what do you mean by rectifier, we already know it, and as you know in normal rectifier you have some threshold voltage. Okay, before that threshold voltage, the diode is not going to conduct or it is not going to rectify it. Okay, but in small signal half wave rectifier, they can rectify signals as small as few millivolts or even sometimes microvolts or millivolts. Okay, and this is possible because of the high open loop gain of the op-amp. Okay, and the rectification of the small signal is possible because of the high open loop gain of the amplifier. So here in this small signal half wave rectifier, op-amp automatically adjusts the voltage drive to the diode D1. So the required output peak is the same as the input, and the diode acts as ideal diode, means just like as a switch. Now this is the corresponding diagram for small signal half wave rectifier. For positive small signal half wave rectifier, consider an op-amp, and for reference voltage is taken as 0, and an input voltage is applied to the our non-inverting terminal, and a diode is connected between the connected to the op-amp. Okay, and now start analyzing this circuit. So as Vin start increasing in the positive direction, suppose if our input voltage start increasing in the positive direction, the V0 dash also start increasing positively. Okay, this voltage also start increasing positively until diode D1 is forward biased. Okay, until diode D1 is forward biased. When D1 is forward biased, it closes the feedback loop. Okay, and it closes the feedback loop. Okay, until when it will be forward biased, it is going to close the loop. Okay, and now the op-amp at that time works as a voltage follower. Okay, this is nothing but our op-amp works as a voltage follower. So what is going to happen is the output voltage V0 follows the input voltage Pin during the positive half cycle. Okay, so this is working as a voltage follower. So it is following whatever the input voltage we will give it. This is the works as a voltage follower, and hence in the positive half cycle it is going to rectify the signal of the output voltage. That means input voltage we are going to get diode D1 is on during the positive half cycle. Okay, this diagram shows the input and output waveform of the positive small signal half wave rectifiers. Okay, so this is regarding how the in the positive half cycle the positive small signal half wave rectifier will work. Now consider the next situation where when Vin start increasing in the negative direction. Suppose our input voltage is start increasing in the negative direction. Okay, it is start increasing in this direction, in the negative direction. Okay, for the positive small signal half wave rectifier, when it is going to increase in the negative direction, what is going to happen? The V0 dash, that is this output V0 dash, okay, the op-amp output V0 dash also increases negatively until it is equal to nearly equal to the negative saturation value minus V. Okay, and that what it will does when that happens, it will reverse bias the diode D1. Okay, that is going to reverse bias the diode D1, and that opens the feedback loop, and hence it will opens the feedback loop. So what happens when it will be open? Then therefore during the negative half cycle of the input signal, the output voltage will becomes 0. Since it has been reverse biased, this voltage will become reverse biased, and hence there is no voltage here. Okay, and similarly the process repeats. Okay, this is regarding positive small signal half wave rectifier. Similarly, on the similar basis, we can study the negative small signal half wave rectifier. This is the circuit for negative small signal half wave rectifier. Just observe that the diode is connected in the opposite direction. Okay, the direction or the polarity of the diode is reversed. Okay, once again, now how it works as usual. So figure shows the negative small signal half wave rectifier. This figure explains the negative small signal half wave rectifier. This is the input waveform of the negative small signal half wave rectifier, and this will represent the output waveform of the negative half wave and negative small signal half wave rectifier. And this circuit can be obtained by setting our reference voltage to 0. During the positive alteration, the input voltage V1 is reverse bias. Okay. During the positive alteration, what is going to happen? This diode is said to be in reverse bias, and hence there is no current flow or no voltage flows through the circuit, and hence the output voltage is 0, and therefore at the output of in the positive half cycle, the diode D1 is to be off. Okay, the diode D1 is said to be in the off condition. On the other hand, during the negative alteration, diode D1 will becomes forward biased. Okay, on the negative alteration or negative half cycle, the diode D1 is forward biased, and the once again it will act as voltage follower because of the high low open gain almost around 10 to the power 5, and the output voltage follows the input voltage, and once again only this part is going to be rectified. Okay, and the output follows the input, and hence negative cycle appears here for small voltages also. Okay, this is regarding the negative small signal half wave rectifiers. So this is regarding small signal rectifiers. We have studied two cases, that is small signal half wave rectifier for positive small signal half wave rectifier, and as well as for negative half cycle small signal half wave rectifier. These are the two cases what we have studied. So in today's class, we have studied regarding successive approximation analog to digital converter, and as well as the small signal half wave rectifier. They are useful because they can rectify as small as millivolts, in terms of millivolts, or also millivolts and microvolts also, and hence they are useful in signal conditioning circuits. Okay, this is regarding for today's class, and we will see the next topics in the upcoming classes. Okay, thank you.